Ciao friends, welcome to Simple Italian Cooking. Today we are going over how to make a white veggie lasagna using a bechamel sauce. Sounds really complicated. I promise it's not. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's just go over all the ingredients that you're going to need for the lasagna and the sauce. You're going to need 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. You're going to need a carrot. I'll go over the sizes later. Mini sweet peppers or just sweet peppers, zucchini, olive oil, onion, the whole milk and ricotta, salt and pepper, and you're also going to want some Romano cheese. You can use Parmesan if you don't have that, and then you're going to use you're going to need some butter. So it's the butter, flour, and whole milk that we're going to use to make a bechamel sauce. Super easy. So the first thing we want to do is chop up all our vegetables because we're going to need to cook them. And I'm using 1 large carrot here, and I make sure that I slice it and cut it thin. That just helps it cook better, and you don't want to go too heavy with the carrots because you don't want it too sweet. So I also sliced up my onions. You can dice them if you want, and then you also want to slice up your zucchini and your bell peppers as well. So I'm using a cast iron pan. I should have probably used something a little bit larger, but it's okay, it all works out. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil over medium heat. And you just want to let that heat up. Once that's done being heated up, you want to go ahead and at first start with your onions. And you're going to want to cook those down just for about a minute or 2, just to get those started, because you don't want those crunchy in the lasagna. And you just want to make sure you coat them, get them all coated with that olive oil. Next, I like to add in the zucchini. So you can see I have them cut up, and I did 2 large zucchinis. If you have small zucchinis, you want to go 3 or 4. Now these zucchinis are really going to cook down, so that's why I have them in here, because I want to start getting that liquid, that excess liquid in them out. So that's going to take a few minutes or so to just start cooking down. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and add in those carrots. And I'm adding in the sweet peppers. Now I did dice these. Now again, this is about a handful of those mini sweet peppers. And if you're going to use whole larger ones, probably about 2 of those would be good. I do cut them small because I don't want people feeling like when they take a bite that they're eating a huge big bite of the of the sweet peppers. So now, since my pan was a little small, I did cover it to just help it steam and cook through. And after about 30 minutes, you're going to see that, and this is over kind of a medium-low heat, everything starts getting really soft. You want these vegetables soft. We don't want them fork tender. We want them really, really soft. And all that juice in there, we want to save it. Don't drain it. Don't cook it off. We want to save and use that for flavoring. And also add in the salt and pepper, which I had forgotten to do earlier, but not a big deal. While the vegetables are cooking, we make sure to get the lasagna noodles boiling and cooked as well and set aside. So for the bechamel sauce, you need 5 tablespoons unsalted butter over low heat in a medium saucepan. Let it fully melt, and you're just going to add a little bit of flour at a time. And use a whisk to stir it, and you want to try as best you can to avoid getting clumps in there. And so just add in a little bit more flour at a time and give it another stir, cooking it. And we're doing this over a low heat. And just keep doing this until it'll start to thicken, and you want it to turn into a clumpy paste like what you're seeing here on the screen. I shouldn't say clumpy, but into a really good paste. You want to get all that flour off from the sides. Once that's done and you've got a beautiful looking paste like this one here, we want to go ahead and start adding the whole milk. I'm using 4 cups total, but I just add in a little bit at a time, and I want to whisk it till it's all blended, and then just adding a little bit more, and then whisk it, and constantly whisk it. Then you're going to turn the heat up to a medium, and you're going to constantly stir it with the whisk because you don't want any clumps to form. So you can increase the heat to a medium, and you want to bring this to a low boil. So you can see it's kind of beginning to thicken just a little bit here. And here is the consistency that we're looking for. You can see it's at a low boil. I'm really happy with it. And if you are getting clumps, just simply strain it. you know, with a fine mesh strainer, and that will totally help. But this is the consistency that we are looking for. It's kind of like a gravy. Okay, so the next step is we're just going to put a layer of that bechamel sauce into, I think mine is like a 13 by 9 pan. And just like a regular lasagna, you put the sauce down first. That's what we want to do here. So I decided for this to actually use my homemade noodles. I'm actually using them from my Phillips. So they came out thick. Lesson learned, I should have boiled these. I thought they would be a little thinner and not have a problem, but it was fine. But if you're using homemade noodles, typically if it's really thin, you don't need to boil them first, like parboil them. If you're using them from a box, which is more common, then you want to follow the instructions on the box that you bought. So anyway, I'm putting down my another layer of the sauce just over top of my noodles. And we put down our first layer of vegetables that we cooked down. Remember, it's okay to have that sauce in there. So scoop all that out and just do a nice layer. And then on top of the vegetables, I'm going to go ahead and add my Romano cheese. You can also combine your cheeses together, all 3 cheeses. It would have been probably a little bit easier, but I didn't. I decided to just do it separately for the video. But go ahead and just start putting that on, and then I just kind of dumped some of the mozzarella to make a nice layer. And last but not least, I put the whole milk version of the ricotta, and I just spread it around as best I can, which is why I probably should have just mixed it all together, I know. But anyway, hindsight is always 20/20, but it'll make a mess. Have fun with it. Don't be shy. It will all turn out wonderful. Next, I add in another layer of my noodles. And notice that I used some of my crappy noodles on the bottom, the ones that were just like all broken up, because nobody's going to see those. So I do that, do another layer of the vegetables and another layer of the cheese. Spread it around. And next we do a final layer of our noodles. So you can probably tell that my camera's a bit shaky. It's because I'm holding it in one hand and doing everything in the other. I don't know why I didn't use my tripod. But anyway, if I can do it basically one-handed, anybody can make this recipe. So these are the noodles. They're looking really good. And then I go ahead and put basically all the rest of the bechamel sauce right on top. So this is looking really, really gorgeous here. Totally coming together. Just take a look at that, all those vegetables, looking great. So now we're going to go ahead and put these in a preheated oven. I'm using my Breville Smart Oven, and we're going to cook it at 350 for about 40 minutes. That's 175 Celsius. You want the noodles to be super soft when you're done, so if you need to cook it longer, like I had to on, that's because I didn't cook my noodles beforehand. I actually made this recipe for Christmas last year, and it was delicious. It's great for any holiday or Sunday meal, and here it is. You can see the inside once you cut it. Oh my goodness, the zucchini and the peppers, it's so colorful, and it is delicious. And it's very filling. Serve with a nice salad, and you're all set. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and share and comment if you have your own version. And don't forget to grab your free ebooks and join our newsletter using the links below.